Hello! So I know it's been a while since I've done a video, and I know that normally if you're doing a first impressions video you do it pretty early on, and the Switch has been out for 6-7 weeks now and I haven't done anything. I do have two genuine reasons for this, I'm not just lazy. Reason number one, my game capture device very rudely decided it wasn't going to capture Switch footage, and I've still not solved that problem, so in the short term, any gameplay footage you see today, I'm going to have taken straight from the official gameplay videos of the relevant people. So thank you Nintendo, thank you Konami, because you're the two that I'm going to be pulling from today. And reason number two, every time I tried to sit down to write this script, the temptation of playing more Breath of the Wild kind of got in the way. So instead of writing the script, I'd be playing Breath of the Wild. But I finally completed the main story mode of Breath of the Wild. There's lots I haven't done, don't get me wrong, but I feel a sense of completion now. I feel like I can move forward and I can do this video for you. So without any further ado, these are my first impressions of the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, before I can talk about anything else, I need to talk about the console itself and what I think of it. You saw my initial impressions on the unboxing video I did, but I can tell you now, having spent some time with it, I really like it. And I know that's of no surprise because I'm a huge Nintendo fan, but it is a really nice console. And a big part of that is the convenience and versatility of it. I've never been a man who puts much stock in the technical aspect of consoles. I don't gawk over GPUs, I don't get teary over teraflops. I'm a simple man with simple tastes. I like consoles that do exactly what I want them to do, and with the Switch, I get that. When I was young, handheld consoles were the best things ever. My Game Gear, and later Game Boy, got huge amounts of use, whether I was at home, whether I was out on holiday, or I was in the car, or wherever it was, they would get played. But then as I grew older, and I got a TV in my bedroom, the appeal of big screen gaming won me over. There's nothing quite as much fun as playing something up on the big screen, in a comfy chair, while you're at home. And because of that, my time with handheld consoles reduced. I mean, nowadays, my 3DS, which I love and I think is a great console, still gets barely any playtime because when I get home, I don't want to play on a handheld console, I want to play on the TV. And therefore, from that point of view, the Switch is absolutely perfect for me. The fact that what I get to take out with me is the same game and the same save file that I am playing at home means there's no interruptions. I can carry on my gaming as if it is one thing, as opposed to handhelds and consoles. And I can't stress enough how much fun that is for me. It's instantly become a must-have for me at work. I play Zelda in my lunch hour or jump on and play a bit of Bomberman or whatever it may be. But the fact is, I can continue my game wherever I am. And then when I'm at home, I have the option of the different control schemes. I don't have a Pro Controller at the moment, so my options are playing in the Joy-Con grip, which is fine and very comfortable, or you can play with the two of them separated and one in each hand, like so, which to be honest, I prefer. I was one of those weird people who enjoyed playing games on the Wii where you had the nunchuck in one hand and the Wiimote in the other, and you could just hold them whatever angle felt comfortable. You're not restricted to holding them like this. And the freedom for two-player, using one Joy-Con on its side, as seen in 1-2 Switch or Super Bomberman, is great as well. I'm really enjoying it. And yes, I know that a lot of people bemoaned the console at launch. They said it was a soft launch, that it wasn't ready, there weren't many games, there's no virtual console. But do you know what? None of that mattered to me. This section is titled Games, but obviously as we all know there weren't many released at the time. Of the 4 physical launch games that came out, I bought 3 of them. Sorry, Just Dance 2017, you didn't make the cut for me. So I'll go over them each individually and let you know what I think. 1-2 Switch. So the first game is this one. The one that everyone says, oh, it should have been a pack-in title. Oh, it's just like Wii Sports, but it's for the Switch. And yeah, that's kind of true. Except Wii Sports had a single-player mode and held your interest for hours. I mean, don't get me wrong, the multiplayer on this is fun. I've played a chunk of it with VideoMib, and we also took it round to a friend's house with the console, and we all took turns and played against each other. And it was a huge amount of fun. But it is just a tiny bit disappointing. I mean, why wasn't it a WarioWare game? Why isn't there any single-player versions of the games? You can't help but feel, with a bit of thought and a bit more effort, this could have been a a game with a bit more longevity in it than it's got. I mean, it's fun, but it is the game that I've played the least since we got the Switch. Super Bomberman R. Of the 3 games I bought, this was the biggest question mark for me. I love Super Bomberman on the SNES. I have it, I play it, it's hilarious. But I was a bit wary of this. I mean, was there going to be enough in it to justify it being a full price game? Isn't it just a posh updated port of a game from 30 years ago? More specifically, 33 years ago. As you'll see, it's celebrating Bomberman's 33rd anniversary, because that's an anniversary that always needs celebrating. Anyway, and yes, on the surface it does look like that. It does look like an updated version of the SNES game that I love. But firstly, what's wrong with that? And secondly, it is still a lot of fun. I've played a chunk of the single player story mode, which is hilarious with some weird cutscenes and all the rest of it. And I've played a few online battles, not that many, but that's not the game's fault. That's the fault of my own shitty internet that will not sustain a stable connection long enough for me to play Bomberman online. Thanks, EE. Also, it's got local multiplayer, which is fun, but you need a big TV. It can get a touch confusing otherwise. On the negative side, the controls are a tiny bit woolly, and I'm not the biggest fan of the actual camera angle. I'd have preferred this to be more top-down like the originals were. This weird, I don't even know what angle it is, this weird sort of 45-degree angle onto the playfield is very strange when you're playing. It takes a lot of getting used to. But these are tiny niggles. These don't stop me having a good time. And I know a lot of people were complaining that the game isn't long enough or there's not enough content in it for a full price game. But firstly, I don't really agree with that. And secondly, apparently it's getting some free DLC. So what more do you want? So to sum it up, it's a good game, but it's not the best game on the Switch. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Let's not pretend this was a surprise. We all knew this was coming. You've seen the reviews, you've heard everyone talking about it. This game is a flat-out masterpiece. And while I'd like to say that I have supremely different insights to any of the huge number of other people who've already done YouTube videos or reviews of this game, I don't really think that I do. This game has something for everyone. My wife Videomib, who loves playing RPGs, plays it her way, so she'll speak to all the NPCs, she'll go on all the little quests, she'll spend hours upon hours getting sidetracked from what she's trying to do. Whereas I, who don't normally give a shit about RPGs, spend my time running around, attacking things, setting myself on fire, and oh my god, I'm going to die! It's a pretty accurate summation, really. In fact, the best thing about the game is the way that everyone can approach it in their own different way. It's a huge open world game and it feels like nothing's off limits. Well, I say nothing, there's always the occasional thing that feels slightly weird, but this does a really good job of giving you an entire world to explore. Want to climb that tree? You can climb that tree. Want to climb that mountain? You can climb that mountain. Want to paraglide off this and see how far you can go before you suddenly remember your stamina meter runs out and then you fall screaming to your death? It'll let you do that as well. So you can all approach it in different ways. For example, one player might see a camp of bokoblins and very carefully stake it out, sneak around, pick them off from a distance, and then other players might just sort of rush in with a massively underpowered weapon and no shield and just think, ah, it'll be fine, what's the worst that can go wrong? This game has taken over both of our lives in the last 6 weeks or so, and I cannot remember the last time a game did that, certainly not the same game for both of us. We patiently watch each other's games, alternating between being massively engrossed in what they're doing and secretly wishing it was our turn. In fact, we're so devoted to this game that when I jokingly suggested we should get a second Switch, my wife distinctly paused before she said no. Is it a perfect game? No, of course it's not. There are a couple of shrine quests I didn't really care for. Stealthily following a juvenile Korok through the woods, and if you move slightly too quickly he sees you and you have to go all the way back to the beginning again, is tedious beyond extremes as far as I'm concerned. Even the common complaint of the durability of weapons doesn't bother me. I like the fact that they break regularly. It means, firstly, you never feel over or underpowered because you know you're going to be able to find things to carry on. And secondly, it gives you a chance to use everything and find out what is the best weapon for you. Because statistics only tell you half of it. They don't tell you how quick it is, they don't tell you how durable it is, they just tell you what power those weapons have got. But I can't find much to complain about. In fact, this Zelda game is so good, I will be buying the DLC for it. And I almost never buy DLC for games. So, on the whole, do I think the Nintendo Switch is worth it? Yes, absolutely. There is no question in my mind. I may only have 3 games for it at the moment, but there are more coming out that I'm desperate for. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is out in a couple of weeks, and I know it's just a repackaged version of Mario Kart 8, but Mario Kart 8 is one of my most played games of the last 3 years, so I'm quite looking forward to that and being able to take it to work, do multiplayer and having second items and proper battle mode and all the rest of it. There are also at least 3 eShop games that I'm dying to try and or buy at the moment. One is Snipper Clips that I've downloaded the demo for and so far have not played. I hear very, very good things, so I'm excited about that. A second is Fast RMX, because I played a little bit of Fast Neo Racing on a friend's Wii U and absolutely loved it, so it definitely looks like my kind of thing. And third is Shovel Knight, because apparently I can't stop buying Shovel Knight on different formats, because I love that game so much. And yes, I know that I don't have to buy Shovel Knight, and if I wait, then the new expansion will then be available on both my Wii U and PS4 copies. But if I buy Shovel Knight for the Switch, I can take it anywhere I want to go. Anywhere I want to go, I can play Shovel Knight at work, and isn't that the dream for every man and woman in the world? So yeah, short answer, buy a Switch, play a Switch, add me to your friends, and watch me lose at Bomberman. I'm waiting! Thanks so much for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. You can see my Switch unboxing video I did with VideoMib by clicking on the link below. Please do subscribe if you're enjoying it, like, comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't. Thanks very much.